What I noticed first was her colors. They were bold and free and joyful. As an art student, I was surprised and felt an immediate aesthetic kinship. A few years later, I found work as a teaching artist. I would hunt for beautiful children's books about all different interesting artists to build into my lessons. At the time, I couldn't find a picture book about Sonia Delaunay. Now I'm amazed to find this picture book about Sonia that is perfect for young kids. Author Kara Maines and illustrator Fatinha Ramos introduced Sonia's immersive experience of color through the eyes of her son as a small child. It is imaginative and carefree, just like Sonia's artwork. But back when I was a young teaching artist looking for a way to earn a few dollars, I couldn't find such a resource, and I thought of writing my own little book about dear Sonia. Unfortunately, my story didn't quite work out, although I did have a lot of fun creating some possible illustrations. I just wasn't sure how to tell very young children why Sonia's biography is so interesting to me. Frustrated, I finally tucked the project on a shelf. So, why does her story still stick in my mind? It might be that I relate to her as an artist who is a woman and a mom. Maybe I was startled to hear that her first childhood name was Sarah, like mine. And when I discovered that her parents lived in an Eastern European shtetl, like many of my own ancestors, studying her life became personal. So, who was this little Sarah Stern, the future famous artist, one day to be the first living female to show at the Louvre? Why did her parents agree to send her to live with a wealthy aunt and uncle at the age of 5? I have heard this type of arrangement was more common in those days, but as a mom, I find the idea unbearable. Next, I started to wonder what feelings hid behind this serious face. What kinds of thoughts did she have when, as a young adult, she agreed to an unusual marriage that provided a mutual protection for the young woman not allowed to live alone away from her family, and for her friend who wasn't safe to live openly as a gay person. The same friend, years later, actually helped Sonia evade the Nazis. Sonia lived through World War II with grit and a ferocious protective effort to hide her second husband's artwork. When the war was over and she finally felt safe, she did everything in her power to see that Robert Delaunay's name was remembered and respected in the art world long after he was gone. But what about Sonia? Year after year, she worked hard with whatever resources she had, whether it was a few scraps of fabric to stitch a blanket together, or the finest paint money could buy, building a colorful empire in fashion and in fine art. This perseverance and tenacity inspires me and echoes in my mind. If she could live through all that, I better keep on trying however I possibly can. Keep being creative, keep bravely sharing my vision and heart, and keep advocating for others.